Ten Hag to Bayern Munich dream has been revealed by this guy is known as Christian Falk, one of the closest to Bayern Munich, and that means he's really getting this from great boss sources because he's a huge fly on the wall as far as Bayern Munich news is really concerned. Bruno Fernandes speaking about the club of Man United, and then there is a player left back, United Academy graduate known as Alvaro Fernandez, who is really undergoing a very bad spell at the side of Benfica. I came here and really said that Hannibal is going through turmoil at Sevilla, and then another superstar, sorry, another young star is also going through turmoil, and I don't know who really sanctions these deals, because when he was at Granada, he was really playing almost every game, but right now he's not playing almost any game at Benfica. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're really watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as we hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this week in there for you. So the Christians we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and the Muslims Ramadan Mubarak in there. Now let's see close to 200 likes much on this video as we coming through with Erik ten Hag. We've been told by Christian Falk that Erik ten Hag dreams of returning to Bayern Munich as head coach one day. As of now, the Dutch is not on the ban list and is not a topic for this summer. Should he become available, his name could be discussed. Now, we all have to know that this guy was once at Bayern Munich. He worked with Pep Guardiola, and after working with Pep Guardiola, he went back to work, I think, with Utrecht. He went back to work with Utrecht, and that's where he obviously got from to become the manager of Ajax. That is Erik ten Hag. Now, the words of Christian Falk are, should he be available, his name could be discussed, meaning that he's not available. And when you look at such a story being put out right now, it shows you that all is okay with the club of Man United and Erik ten Hag. I know very many people have gone ahead to trade words that ten Hag is going to be sacked by Ineos. Trust me, he cannot be sacked by Ineos. And I think either today or tomorrow I'm going to bring you a story that shows how Sir Jim Ratcliffe is really willing to obviously be patient for any manager, and he's supposed to start with the one who is available, and that's going to hit to show the effort was been really working under an incompetent team. So I understand that Erik ten Hag would love to manage Barcelona, that is it, because most Dutch players really have that attachment to Barcelona because of Jan Cruyff. You know Jan Cruyff, you know, the founder of tiki-taka football, and they've gone ahead to see very many Dutch managers really manage the side of Barcelona, and he saw to it that when he beat them at Old Trafford and knocked them out, he was really happy because for him they believe Barcelona is the excellency of football. And if you have to look at teams that have gone ahead to break records of playing tiki-taka, Barcelona is one of those. Though ever since Pep Guardiola left and Luis Enrique left, they've never gone ahead to obviously possess their philosophy as they used to do. But for me, I'm not stunned by this story, because every manager has a destination. Even at Bayern Munich, he would love to go there. But when you look at Erik ten Hag, I think you would love to be a manager who is really competing for the top league, you know, or in the top league in the world. I don't really think that however much he desires to be a manager of Bayern Munich, he feels like he should leave the club of Man United, unless otherwise he's going to have to be sacked. And I tell you from here that the moment this guy gets sacked, do you know what will happen? Erik ten Hag will first think of offers coming in from the Premier League. That is it. But will there be a top team that is willing to offer him a job? That will be the most important bit. And if at all there will be no, maybe he'll first look to La Liga, then Bundesliga will come last, because the Bundesliga is really a team that is really weak. And you see to it that even a side like Bayern Leverkusen that is going to hit to emerge as a competing force to really edge Bayern Munich. Their manager is not going to stay next season, right? Because Bayern Munich wants him, Liverpool wants him, and I think he's going to come to the Premier League. Then you'll find Bayern Leverkusen really dying a natural death, you know. So you wouldn't like to see yourself go to that side. I know the interest is there, but I think that will be the last option of Erik ten Hag to make such a statement. But Bayern Munich, he might really want to manage it because it's a big team, and he has a lot to do with the side of Man United. And from here, I think he's at Man United to be here and he's going nowhere. I know the dream is big, but he still wants to be in the Premier League. If at all you offered him two teams, Bayern Munich, right, and Man United, he will obviously choose Man United over Bayern Munich. And that shows you exactly what this is all about. They still have a lot of trust in him, and he's still not yet made available. Now, this rubbishes of all stories that every team, that Erik ten Hag is going to hit to tell his agents that he has not been given a green light by Ineos. You get? So, I understand from what region or from what angle people are really describing that, but a story coming in from Bayern Munich confirms to you that this is not gonna really happen. They're not gonna sack this guy, and that's why this is a close United source known as United Mapteers. They're gonna hit to confirm to us that Man United will not make a decision on Erik ten Hag's future based on getting Champions League or winning the FA Cup. The decision will be based on a number of factors and a long-term plan. Ineos have not yet told anyone what their decision is. Now, if the decision was for Erik ten Hag to leave, it would have already been put outside there. I've gone ahead to see credible journalists like Fabrizio Romano and David Austin confirm with us that Ten Hag has a huge chance to stay at the club of Man United. Now, these other journalists that follow up are the ones that really think Ten Hag is going to be really sacked from the club of Man United. And I tell you, they had already gone ahead to make their drafts of stories. You understand? They had already gone ahead to make drafts of those stories that Ten Hag is going to be sacked because he has failed to beat the number one rival for Manchester United in world football. But guess what? It was turned around. I know very many journalists wanted Liverpool to beat Man United to see to it that they gain stories to write about in this international break. But God went ahead to shame Satan, and Ten Hag went ahead obviously win that beautiful game of football. And as we speak right now, he's the main man. Talk about town, and no one is trying to obviously put in a story that he wanted to put in through. But again, you see to it that all the stories they're putting up are showing that Man United is not considering keeping Erik ten Hag. It shows you how selfish they are and how they are really trying to push such a manager out for the club of Man United. But for us, as we the fans that really love Ten Hag, believe that there is no way Ineos is going to make a decision of really sacking Erik ten Hag, because how do you sack a manager whom you've not going to have to give a chance to act? I know you're going to be playing the FA Cup final, and I think we might even lift it. Yeah, I don't see us losing to Man City twice in a final. There is no way. Remember last time we looked a little bit shaky, but right now we're really having a very good goal, and I think if you're having our lineup has Onana, Dallo, Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane, that is the back five, Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, Rashford, Højlund in the final against Man City. At a neutral ground, we can really beat them, because when we are playing at their home, what really stopped Erik ten Hag from really clinching a result from Man City was all about him lacking enough bench, because most of our players are really returning, and as they return, we expect them to be fully fit, meaning that if you are to play in the NFA Cup, if you are to play in the FA Cup final, you'll be having Anton Martial on the bench, Anthony, Mason Mount, Amrabat, Scott McTominay, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Tyrell Malacia, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof. So we'll be having very many players, the Ahmad Diallos of this world, will be having very many players on the bench that can really turn around this beautiful game of football, and that will really see us beat Man City. So I think let's not cross the bridge before we reach it. Let's first knock out Coventry City and go ahead and really beat Man United. I saw a certain reporter coming in through from Dutch saying that Erik ten Hag will be sacked because Louis van Gaal was sacked even when he won the FA Cup. But ask yourself, who sacked Louis van Gaal? It was Ed Woodward. Did he know anything about the game of football? No way. So a manager like Ten Hag needs to be given a chance to be working under this side, because everything they want, he has done it, and he has gone ahead to do the club of Man United. You know, if it's competing, he has shown he can compete, provided he has the right players, playing the finals. And the most important bit of it all is what Sir Jim Ratcliffe said of really getting in the new Kylian, the next Kylian Mbappe, the next Jude Bellingham. And I tell you, the next Jude Bellingham is Kobbie Mainoo, and he might even supersede the ceiling of Jude Bellingham. The next Kylian Mbappe is Garnacho. Garnacho has all traits of Kylian Mbappe, and who has gone ahead to obviously give them confidence and get them the first team. It's none other than the manager of Man United, that is Erik ten Hag. So I don't find any reason that we are going to be given to sack Erik ten Hag. I don't find it. That is it. So let's leave that Erik ten Hag story there and let's go to Bruno Fernandes. You know, he said a lot when he was away, or when he's away at Portugal. He spoke to a bowler and he said that I've already had a meeting with the new owners. They want to meet with the players and have already done so individually. And that's exactly the message I passed on. I want to stay here. I want to be part of the project. Now, the new owners have gone ahead to meet up with Erik ten Hag. They've met up with the captain, and they're now planning to meet these players to have a one-on-one talk at the club of Man United. Now, I think they are trying to meet with those that have not gone ahead to be involved into the international break, and I know that meeting is taking place. So Bruno commits to Man United. That is really very important, because I think he's a very good player. But as Sir Jim Ratcliffe said, that we lack a Paul Scholes or an Iniesta, he was like pointing at Bruno Fernandes that however good he is, he doesn't do the number 10 role. And I've always gone ahead to say that here on a daily, that Bruno Fernandes doesn't do his job very, very well as a number 10, and that calls up for a team like Man United to find other alternatives, and we should get in a number 10. And by the way, I don't know whether Ten Hag is looking at Mason Mount to do that job, but I think we should get a better number 10 who can give us a control of the game and really kill off the game in particular areas of the pitch. So for Bruno Fernandes, I understand his angle, because he knows to it that he wants to win a major trophy for the club of Man United, and we all know that we are not far off from winning a major trophy. And next season, I know we are going to compete favorably. Why? We've gone ahead to bring in Ineos, and one of the statements this man went ahead to say when he was asked about signing Kylian Mbappe, he said, no, it's all about getting in the next Kylian Mbappe and the next Jude Bellingham, meaning that he was like, I don't want to spend 150 million pounds, yet I can get 3 players of pure quality in that amount. Meaning that for a United that is going to have to be spending and buying in players for 80 million pounds, that's not going to be the moment. That's not going to be the habit. All they are going to do is, let's get in players of 50 million pounds. You know, like you can get in Todibo for like 45 million pounds. You get in Onana for like 50 million pounds. You go ahead and really bring in another second striker to compete with Rasmus Højlund for like 50 million pounds. That would be like 150. Then you look in for another centre back for like 40 million pounds. That will be 190 million pounds. You understand? So if you're having players like those, look at Lisandro Martinez. He's not a 50 million pound player. You know, we bought him for 46 million pounds from Ajax. But look at what he's doing. So all we need is to get in players that are really good, but at 50 million pound price players. Let's get in more quality to come and really complement this squad, because all we need are players that can be readily available and fit in the system of the manager. We know injuries are inevitable, but when really having good backups, then you can do the needful. So I think Bruno wants to win something major, and it's not far off from Man United's desk. I tell you, even this season, if our players were really readily available and they never really got injured, I promise that would have gone ahead to compete at higher levels in the Champions League. That is it. So we should learn from that, and we should make the rest reach the levels that we think Man United should be on. So that's Bruno Fernandes. He has gone ahead to commit his future Man United, and he knows to it that he's nearing the third decade of his age, and he knows to it that he needs to do the needful. And as Dalo told you last season, that they want to be the first phase of players to ever win something special for the club of Man United, and he meant it, and they are working towards it. That is Dalo and Bruno Fernandes for you, both at the Portuguese national team right about now, and they are trying to do the magic that side. Then we go to Alvaro Fernandez. This is Correio da Manhã via Sports Witness. They've told us that Alvaro Fernandez is taking too long to convince Benfica to sign him, and he's been criticized for not giving them any security at left back. Benfica are now unlikely to use the 60 million euro buying option to sign him this summer. Now, this is where I felt like United went ahead to really panic a little bit for this guy. I think the best thing to do for Alvaro Fernandez was keep him at Granada, and next season he would have gone ahead to get a better team that would have gone ahead to obviously buy him. All else, he would have gone ahead to be recalled back at the club of Man United to really help us in this emergency of lacking a left back. But we sent him to Benfica. He's not getting ample playing time, and the boy might really get frustrated. But we all know his qualities. He's press resistant, and I know, however much he's being criticized like that, he's really a good player. And Benfica are just trying to really not get this boy in, you know? And it is really bad that they went ahead to get in a player they had scouted, and they wanted him, and now they're complaining that he's not good defensively. Now, what lenses did he use to scout this player? I think he's really a player who balances both sides well. And for a team like Benfica, you would love to have a player going forward. I think they play some good football. So, Luis Costa, the president of Benfica, please try to obviously rectify this, because if it's the reason of him not playing, then it's really weak. Because he's a player you had scouted from Granada, you know, for 2 consecutive seasons, and he has been playing very well in Spain. Now, how come you're telling us that he does not defend? That's why you don't really play him. Now, what's the role of the coach? What's the role of the coach? We've gone ahead to see very many managers training people how to defend, you know, and he's still 20 years of age. He has not gone ahead to hit his peak, meaning that he can easily become what you want. You can turn him into what you want. So I think Benfica is to blame for this, and they should obviously do the needful. But a little bit, even United should be blamed, because why do you cut off someone's loan because you feel like you'll get in 6 million euros, right? It was really bad of Man United. I think would have gone ahead to be kept at Granada, and maybe in the summer teams would have gone ahead to come in with some good money to sign the lad. I'm calling upon for your reactions in the comment section below concerning Ten Hag to Bayern Munich. Then Bruno Fernandes commits his future to Man United, and Alvaro Fernandez in hot soup, and feels like Benfica has gone ahead to really disappoint him in there for you. I sign out for now. See you later, the Muslims. Barak Laufikum and Ramadan Kareem. The Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. And don't forget to subscribe. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner, there is a black button that has whether to subscribe. After smashing it, the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video. onto this channel. Rock and David is my name. Signing out. Bye bye.